Good morning and welcome to the 10 a.m. daily weather brief. Starting us off, we'll take a look at the current radar picture here, in which we can see we are mostly free of any reflectivity. Did have a couple showers earlier this morning, however, those have since either dissipated or pushed offshore, and we'll continue to see that trend throughout the day with some showers off to the west, but largely look to dissipate over the bay before they make it into our local area. Now, looking ahead to the later part of today and into tomorrow, we'll see that stationary boundary that previously stationary boundary that is currently pushing southwards across the region will begin moving back northwards as low pressure out west begins moving northwards into the Great Lakes region, and as a result that is going to work to push that boundary farther north. We'll see some warmer air then filter in for Friday and Saturday ahead of what will be an approaching cold front, and that is set to reach the area by midday on Sunday. Unfortunately, that passage on Sunday is going to put an end to this stretch of unseasonably warm temperatures that we've been experiencing here, and will bring along some breezy conditions with rain and isolated thunderstorm chances, and even the possibility of picking up 3/4 an inch or more of rain during that time. And following that frontal passage, we'll see cooler temperatures settle into the area on Monday, with highs expected to remain in the 50s, and that will be the case for the beginning portion of the week. And we'll see another cold front that is set to move through on Tuesday. That will work to slightly reinforce those cooler temperatures, along with the introduction of an area of strong high pressure, and that's going to settle in and bring some cool northeasterly flow, and those winds will help transport some cooler air from the north and dry conditions overhead, and that will round out these 7 days ahead. Now, taking a look at the 24-hour forecast of the day, looking to see partly to mostly cloudy skies for the remainder of the forecast period, with the exception of tomorrow morning. We do see some thinning in low-level clouds. Looks like in the next hour or two we will see some patchy fog or lower level clouds building into the area, and that does look to persist for a good portion of the day. That boundary is working southwards at this time, and we did, as mentioned earlier, see some scattered showers, so we do have a little bit of color for the earlier portion of the day. However, those chances do look to diminish once we get into the afternoon and move into the evening hours of the forecast period. Winds for the day do look to remain largely light, picking up in the afternoon to late afternoon to gust into the teens, but well below any wind advisory criteria. And then by tomorrow morning, winds should die down, switching to a south-southwesterly direction by early morning tomorrow between 5 to 10 knots. And for our temperatures today, look to climb into the mid-60s. If this low-level cloud cover is delayed on working its way in, we might push into the upper 60s for this afternoon, and then drop into the upper 40s in the overnight hours. And for the short-term risk chart here for the next 2 days, on Friday anticipating partly to mostly cloudy conditions, with a slight chance of seeing those low-level clouds and or patchy fog lingering in the area tomorrow morning. Likely seeing a high in the low to mid 70s tomorrow. Friday night, partly cloudy and a low around 60 with greens across the board. And similarly on Saturday, a warmer day, but partly cloudy and greens across the board once again. Moving on to the 7-day forecast. As mentioned earlier, expecting to see partly to mostly cloudy conditions today. Highs getting into the mid-60s. Friday, more of the same, slightly warmer. And then Saturday, partly cloudy with temperatures piling up and climbing into the potentially upper 70s ahead of that approaching cold front, which we'll see come through midday on Sunday, bringing in a good chance of seeing rain and thunderstorms associated with that passage. Then on the backside on Monday and through Wednesday to round out the 7 days, seeing partly to mostly cloudy conditions and temperatures far below what we have been seeing in the past few days here on the shore. So a much cooler few days to start our next week ahead. That is going to conclude the 7-day outlook. Be back tomorrow at 8:15 with the daily weather operations brief, and hope everyone has a fantastic day.